That's the thing I learned. Just live for you. You got to do your own thing. And if you offend somebody, well, that's their problem. You let them deal with it. I'm me. I got to be me. And you got to be you. So each one of you that are watching, each one of you got to be you, whatever that you is. I originally wasn't even planning to talk about bullying, but it was something that happened to me as a kid. I was kids would push me into lockers and they would knock me down and hang my underwear up on the flagpole and do all that kind of stuff. And it was nothing I ever really wanted to talk about. God puts all of these obstacles in our way for a particular purpose. All these things happen to us for a particular reason. And so that is kind of why I decided to start putting everything that happened to me kind of full circle. So I became a clown and I'm like, well, I really want to talk about bullying, but now I'm a clown. So I decided, okay, well, I'm going to talk about bullying as a clown. So I just decided to kind of juxtapose all that stuff at one time, put it all into one big package, so to speak.
So tell us about how you do that. How do you package that? How do you...
Well, the first thing is I have a YouTube show. So I go on YouTube and I do a weekly YouTube show where I center on one particular thing on bullying. So, 1 week it might be talking. Actually, this week, right after this, I'm actually going to film my episode for the YouTube show. And that's going to be, how do you handle somebody who is cyberbullying you? What do you say if somebody gives a negative post? And so those are the kinds of things that I'll do on YouTube. But as you mentioned, I'm also writing a book. So I'm writing a book called Bullseye on Bullying, Survival Tips to Beating the Bullies. And so a lot of the stuff that I will be showing on my show on YouTube, I will also actually have in the book as well. And then I also do bullying seminars. You actually get bullied also, no matter what age you are. So whether it's a teenager, whether you're a toddler, whether you're a senior living in a senior community, that can also happen.
How do you convince potential clients that a clown is good for teaching anti-bullying?
Well, that's a very good question. And how I always talk to them about that is I said, you know what? The bullies created this clown. So whenever I was in school, I ended up becoming the class clown. That's how I kind of got away from the bullies. A lot of times I would create distractions. So a lot of times when they would come up to me and try to bully me, I would scream fire. I would jump up and down. I would play dead. I would scream. They probably thought I was having some kind of a seizure or something. And so a lot of the times it would kind of scare the bullies away. And of course the teachers would come out and go, "What are you doing?" But that's kind of how I convinced them. As I say, you know what, bullies are what created this clown, and so it's only fitting that clowns is the right person to come and show you how to shut this bully down. I had a lot of anger and resentment when I went on that tour because I had been bullied as a kid. I never really got over that. I was bullied some as an adult. I actually lived with an alcoholic stepfather who was abusive. And so I was really kind of just, angry at people and life in general. And once I went on that tour and I saw, for 14 straight days, we were focused on one thing, and that is making people happy. Whoever you came into contact with, you made them happy. But you can't be happy, sad, and angry all at the same time. So when I went through 14 straight days of nothing but being happy, I came back and I realized that all of that stuff that I had harbored up from all of those bullies did not matter. None of that mattered. I didn't think about it. I didn't worry about it. And so I really do think that the biggest thing is being able to maintain a positive attitude, even though something may not be going quite right. I know, and it's hard. You really want to tell people off. And I believe me, so I figure out a nice way to tell them off, Maybe that should be my new YouTube video, how to tell people off nicely.
That's great. Oh, Lord Bullseye, that is fantastic. Gosh.
Like Twitter, I don't like. I have a Twitter account. I very rarely go onto Twitter. I like Facebook because I can control everything. I can control the people who want to be my friend. Because the first thing I always do as soon as somebody sends me a friend request, first thing I do is I go to their page and I scroll down through their page and I look at their page. If they're, cussing at somebody or telling somebody off or, bad mouthing something, I just feel like that's somebody I don't want on my friends list. And so I usually reject a lot of them. That's why I only have like 1,200 friends on my friends list because I really weed those out. I try not to, because that's the one area that I think that we all, as even entertainers, we can control that, especially on Facebook. Instagram, you can't really, when people subscribe to your, Instagram accounts, you can't really block. I think you can block them, but you can't like accept them. They just automatically get accepted. So, but I don't usually have any problems with Instagram. Twitter is probably the one that I like the least, just because I find that seems to be the one social media platform where people think that they can just say anything,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe. See that button right down there? Subscribe. And in the meantime, always stand up for yourself, speak out whenever necessary, and together we can reclaim our authority over bullies.